Most people think coils are simple, just wire, wrapped in a certain shape, carrying electricity from one point to another, and in most cases, that's true, but not all coils behave the same way, because the way a wire is arranged doesn't just affect how electricity moves through it, it changes how energy is stored, and how it interacts with itself, and that's where the bifilar coil starts to stand out. At a glance, it doesn't look revolutionary. It's still just wire, wrapped into a coil, but instead of using a single strand, it uses two wires, wound together in a very specific pattern, side by side, turn after turn, which raises an obvious question: why would that matter? Why would placing two wires next to each other change anything significant? To understand that, you have to step away from thinking about electricity as just current moving through a wire, and start thinking about fields. Because every time electricity flows, it creates a magnetic field around that conductor. Normally, in a standard coil, those fields expand outward, interact, and dissipate in predictable ways, but when you place two wires right next to each other, and control how current flows through them, those fields don't just spread out, they start interacting directly with each other, sometimes reinforcing, sometimes opposing, and that interaction changes the behavior of the entire system. At first, this isn't obvious, because if you measure basic input and output, it might look similar to a regular coil, but internally, something different is happening. Energy isn't just moving forward. It's being stored, compressed, and released in a different pattern. One way to think about it is like tension. Imagine stretching a spring. In a normal setup, you stretch it, and it releases in a straight, predictable way, but if you twist that spring while stretching it, you're adding another layer of stored energy. Now the release behaves differently. That's closer to what a bifilar arrangement is doing. It's not just carrying energy. It's influencing how that energy is stored within the electromagnetic field, and that's where things start to get interesting, because when energy is stored differently, it can also be released differently, sometimes faster, sometimes more concentrated, and in certain configurations, that can affect how a system responds under load. Now, this is where a lot of confusion begins, because from the outside, some people interpret these effects as extra energy, as if the system is producing more than it receives, but that's not really what's happening. The real issue isn't that energy is being created. It's that the structure of the system is changing how energy behaves inside it. So instead of a simple flow, you get interaction. Instead of linear movement, you get layered dynamics, and if you're not used to thinking in those terms, it can look like something unusual is happening, especially in demonstrations, where a compact coil setup appears to influence larger outputs, or respond in ways that feel disproportionate to the input. But again, the key is structure, not magic, not free energy. Structure, how the wires are arranged, how current flows through them, how fields interact between them. That's what defines the behavior, and once you understand that, the idea becomes much more grounded. Now here's the turning point most people miss. The real issue isn't that bifilar coils are special. It's that most people only think about electricity in terms of flow, not in terms of field interaction. So when a design emphasizes that interaction, it feels unfamiliar, even though it's still operating within the same physical principles, and this is exactly why these types of designs keep showing up in discussions about alternative energy systems, not because they break the rules, but because they explore parts of the system that are usually ignored: energy storage in fields, efficiency of release, internal dynamics of the circuit. That doesn't mean every claim you see about them is valid, far from it. There's a mix of real concepts and exaggerated expectations, but understanding the core idea changes how you evaluate those claims, because instead of asking, does this create more energy? You start asking, what is this design doing differently with the energy it already has? And that question leads to much better answers. If you want to see how these coil designs are being used inside real setups, there's a structured breakdown in the description that walks through the components, configurations, and practical applications. You can explore it if you want to go deeper, and if this kind of explanation helps you separate concept from claim, subscribing keeps you connected to more content like this. Clear thinking, no shortcuts.